part 2 of the part 1 video that I just posted. It talked about the dark thoughts that come into my mind regarding my son. And my counselor, I wanted to just go on and tell you kind of what she said, and maybe some of it will be helpful to some of you guys. But she said that what I needed to do is to go ahead and get all the information I can on that. You know, like I told you guys in my last video that I just research. I research like crazy, and try to find answers, clinical answers to how Tyler died, how it felt, what a body does once death, you know, sets in, and such. So, you know, I researched that. I have researched it, and I've talked to Tyler's roommate. I've talked to Mike and asked him how, you know, how Tyler was positioned and whatnot. You know, we didn't get to see him, thankfully, but his roommate did. And so I have found answers that way, and I'm finding answers on the other questions I have too. But it's like I keep ruminating on that because I have nothing else to think about to distract that thought. And this counselor, she's a Christian counselor. I'm very thankful for. I really wanted a Christian one more than I did like a secular one. She said I need to practice mindfulness, and honestly, I kind of sort of know what it is through the mental health field. You know, deep breathing, taking your mind to, you know, different thoughts, shoving out the bad thoughts, whatever. So I'll be working on that. She gave me a great resource that maybe some of you have and you can tell me about, or if you don't, you can get this app on your phone. But it's called Headspace, and there are 10 free sessions that you can do these in sequence. And then I guess after these 10 free sessions, which are supposed to be helpful for mindfulness, then you can buy for really cheap more sessions, I guess. She says they might be on Instagram, but they are on Facebook. I don't have Facebook, but I do have Instagram, so I'm going to be checking that on Instagram. But I'm definitely going to be downloading this app and checking it out and trying to do some of the sessions. She says she thinks that'll help. She said what I needed to do is to get all the research I can on what the questions I have. I feel like I have already obtained a lot, and probably enough, honestly. But I don't know, there might be something more. She's like, get it all out. Get it all out of the way. Find it out. Write it down. Do whatever you have to. Put it in your mind. And she says, call that a book. And she says, once that book is written, she said, close that book. Close it, close it, close it. You're done. You've found all the answers. You've read that book. And go put it on a dusty bookshelf, and never pick that book up again. And she's like, I know you will. She's like, a brain doesn't work that way where you can just totally, you know, I wish it could space it all out. But she's like, put it on a dusty bookshelf, and one you don't go to, you know, regularly. And she said, and then start another book in your head, which someday maybe I'd like to write a book. I don't know, about some of the things that have gone on in our life. We've had sick kids. I know I'm going off on a tangent, but 26 years of marriage, and, you know, marriage is up and down, of course. And then just, I've had miscarriages. I've had preterm labors. I've had babies born early. Of course, I have a son with Down syndrome. Tyler had diabetes and epilepsy as a child. Oh my gosh, there's just been so much. I had cervical cancer. So much that has gone on that someday I just feel like I want to write a book, you know, even if it's just for me. But anyway, off the subject. So in my head, she said to write a book about this vision I had of Tyler. And some of you probably watched the video, few videos back, of a vision I had of Tyler. And I'm not even going to go into it right now, because if you watched it, you saw it. there's no point in wasting time going over it again. But it was a beautiful portrait, a beautiful live view of Tyler in heaven and what his body looks like right now and kind of what he's experiencing right now in heaven. So she said, start the book with that and start realizing that the body in the grave is a shell and the real Tyler, his spirit, is in heaven. And picture what he's doing there in heaven and how he's free from his mental health pain, free from his diabetes. He stopped taking his insulin months before he died, and I feel like that was an attempt of suicide, you know, like he was hoping to die of diabetes. It never happened. So the day he died, his brain was so inflamed anyway because of not having insulin. So sugar causes inflammation in the body. So therefore his brain wasn't thinking right. We feel he had bipolar disorder. He had had multiple seizures, grand mal seizures, in his lifetime, which probably could have done some damage. Things were piling up. He was in debt. He was kicked out of college because he couldn't pay his student loans. He was losing sensation in his feet because of the diabetes, and he was afraid that being a fireman, that dream would not be readily available to him soon. Like they would kick him out of the fire department because he couldn't feel his feet, and they had sores all over because of the diabetes. His girlfriend had just broken up with him 20 minutes before he took his life. Like it was just a culmination of so many things. And my counselor said, you know, it just sounds like with the diabetes and everything that Tyler experienced and was experiencing there at the end, she's like, it takes she said, a psychotic mindset to actually take your life. You know, she said most people who threaten or have the ideation or attempt it don't really want to. You know, it's a cry for help. And they don't intend to really die because it takes a whole heck of a lot of courage to actually pull that trigger and take your life. And that pulling a trigger and shooting yourself is she says she thinks Tyler probably did research on it to figure out the way that it would be a clean cut, you know, he'd be done. And so it just takes an immense amount of determination to do it. And he must have been so determined. So, anyway, I've got to quit thinking of that, but think about how whole he is now, how whole his mind is now, how his body is not ravaged with diabetes and epilepsy. And, you know, would I bring him back if I could? Would I say, you know, Tyler, come back to this body that you lived in? And would I ask him to do that with the mental issues and the physical issues? No, absolutely not. I wouldn't. I want my son because I love him. I want him free of that pain and struggle. So she said, start a book like that. Write it like that. And so I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to do the app that I was talking about. Maybe some of you can try that too, or have, and can leave a comment below and tell me how it works for you. Also, I had her say that instead of thinking of Tyler in that negative way, like that could be distracting my tears, because I don't cry when I'm researching this nasty stuff. I'm not crying. And so she's like, picture a bucket of tears. Like everybody in grief has a different bucket, a different size, you know, small, large. Everybody's different in how they grieve. And she's like, just picture a bucket of tears that you have. And instead of thinking about the negative parts of Tyler's death, think of this bucket and how you have to empty this bucket out. You know, this bucket is full of tears, whatever size it is, you know, however long it's going to take me, and cry it out. Empty that bucket out until literally there are no more tears. And maybe there will be, you know, in 30 years, whatever, I don't know. My brother was killed in 1986, 30-something years ago, and he was hit by a car and was life-flighted and then on life support, and they had to take him off life support. And Mom cried, you know, for so many years, and, you know, it was difficult for her to get over. but she was able to. And now we can talk about Ryan, my brother, with my mom, and she's fine, you know, with it. So I'm hoping to get to that point someday where I can be free of the pain. And obviously, it's, guys, it's only been 6-7 months. Clearly, I'm not even close to that. But I want to get to that point, and I'm sure it'll be different, you know, different time frame. It is for everybody. But I'm going to picture the bucket of tears and how I have to focus on crying them out. Crying does purge things for some people, and I'm not a big crier. I'd rather talk my problems out, and that's why I'm here on YouTube, because that helps. It helps to talk and to have someone listen. I don't want advice. I just want to talk, get it out. That helps me purge. But a good cry after Mike and I fight, or, you know, something happens, a good cry is cleansing. And so I can do that. Thinking of the memories of when he was a baby, and, you know, whatever, on the good memories. So I'm going to try that. So tell me what you guys think, and if there's anything else that has helped you guys in a process like this. But I hope that some of the things I shared can help somebody out there. I love you guys, and I'm trusting the Lord in this journey, and the prayers that I'm getting from all of you guys and continue to get help. I'm telling you, I feel like it's painful, but I know it could be more painful without the Lord. And so your prayers are interceding, and I thank you for them, and I praise my Lord for getting us through this. And I thank him that Tyler is with him, and that someday soon we'll be there. I'll be there with him as well. I know the Lord is returning soon, and having him as your personal Savior is important, and it's what Tyler had, and he's in heaven because of that, and I will be in heaven too, because I love my Lord and trust in Jesus and what he did on the cross. So anyway, love you guys. Hope this helped. The wig I'm wearing, in case somebody didn't watch the last video, this is my Envy wig called Veronica. I feel like it needs thinned out a little bit, like it feels kind of thick here. It's part human hair, part synthetic, but I love it. I love the style. I'm telling you guys, and I said in my last video in the beginning, that I don't think it's worth the money, and I want one. I want another one. This is my third one already in the last 7 months. I'm telling you guys, they do not last. It just fries up down here. It gets gummy. It's horrible. It's not worth the money. I wish that it wouldn't go bad so fast. But it does. So if anybody knows of a human hair wig that looks like this, I'd rather honestly spend $1,000 on a human hair wig, because they've always lasted longer for me and been easier to take care of, then I want to spend money on this. It's so not worth it. It's $1,000 at name brand wigs, but I always get the 30% discount, so it's still $600, $700, something like that. I still think that's way too much to pay for this wig, but I love it so much. I love the style, and I really try to care for it as much as I can. I notice playing with it and brushing it out makes it worse, so it's like, I gotta stop playing with it. But anyway, Envy by Veronica, beautiful wig, wonderful at first, and then goes bad. Not worth the money. So does anybody know of a human hair wig out there that looks just like this and maybe even in this color? Let me know, because I'd rather, like I said, spend the money on that than 3 or 4 of these. Okay, anyway, love you guys. I'm up to 14 minutes, so my phone checks out after that. Who knows when my next video will come out, but I do have another channel where I'm posting more personal videos, which I'm getting a handful on there, so that when I'm ready to open that channel up, I can let some of you know. Some of you good friends who have prayed for me and have been there. I want it to be a small channel. I don't want to gain a whole bunch of subscribers on it. Just the people who care. All right, guys, I love you, and I'll see you sometime soon, sometime later, sometime, I don't know. Anyway, talk to you later. Bye.